So the question was why would I encourage people to follow a certification path in their career journey? Um, and I would say for the same reason that people go to university, for the same reason people do any course, it gets your foot in the door. Um, Certifications themselves have no value. How many of you have ever had to pull out your university degree, right? 10 years after you graduated from university. You don't. Maybe your first couple of jobs. You had to. I had to pull out my university degree when I applied for my H1B to go work in the US. And they actually didn't like it. They didn't like it. I had to contribute 2 years of my professional experience to make up the year that the US degrees have more than my degree that I took. But it all worked out. That's why you have those things, right? Is somebody wants to validate your knowledge. It doesn't mean you have skills, right? Skills and application of learning is different from just amassing knowledge. But kind of at a minimum, for certain roles, you should have knowledge, right? At the very least, if you're going to be working on a Scrum team, you should probably have read the Scrum Guide. If I was an employer, how do I validate that you've read the Scrum Guide? Well, I could sit and interview the 1,000 people that apply and ask them, have you read the Scrum Guide? Or I could just put in the job spec PSM1, right? And if you can pass the PSM1, you've read the Scrum Guide. It's be very difficult to pass the PSM1 if you've not read the Scrum Guide. So there's a minimum bar. There's a litmus test. There's a quick check that an employer can do to whittle down the 1,000 candidates to the 200 candidates that have actually read the Scrum Guide, because we want somebody who can work on a Scrum team. And so taking that assessment, that's why it's valuable from a professional career perspective. External professional career perspective, like somebody looking at you, but internal professional career perspective, it's about validated learning, right? How if I take a course and there's no assessment at the end, how do I know I understood what was the intent for me to understand from the course? Well, I don't, right? I just have to, I didn't pay attention for half of it and I forgot the other 60%, and now I've done the course, so I should be able to go do the job. But that's not really how it works, right? Our memories don't work that way. Our understanding doesn't work that way. So and that's why I really like the way that Scrum.org do the validated learning. You effectively get 2 attempts to take the assessment, right? So when at the end of the class, everybody gets a token to take the assessment. And if they take it within 14 days, you get a free second one if you fail. If you pass, well, you passed, right? But in both cases, you get your results broken down by category with a percentage. And you're able to look at that and say, well, I didn't know, I had a low score. I passed, but I had a low score in this area, so perhaps I should study this material. And the thing you get with the scores on it actually has a link to a bunch of material to study in that topic that Scrum.org have curated. There's a Scrum Master learning path, there's a Product Owner learning path, there's various learning paths. And that additional learning, even if I got a high score in it, I want to dive deeply into that topic because I liked it. How do you know where to start, or look, here's a place to start. So that validated learning for you in your career path, because the thing, once you get beyond getting in the door, right, the foot in the door that gets you to the actual interview, is you still have to demonstrate in the interview that you actually understand stuff. And there are so many posts on LinkedIn talking about how to validate that the person at the interview actually understands the thing that you're talking about, and all these trick questions. And you just need to know your stuff. And in order to know your stuff, you have to have done the studying, absorbed the information, and understood it. And you don't get that from not looking at anything, not reading the books, not watching the videos, not reading the blog posts, right, of investing some time and effort in figuring out what this thing is. And training courses are a great way to level set, and then what's next. I mean, the output of a Scrum.org class is, I think all of them have at least 10 books. Here you go, here's a bunch of books to read, here's a bunch of additional content to read. Each trainer adds more content into that story as you go, and if you take the time to go check it out, learn how to do different things, you can improve your career trajectory, so that you get further quicker, right? That's really what careers are about. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, follow, and subscribe. I always reply to comments, and if you want to have a chat about this or anything else Agile, Scrum, or DevOps, then please book a coffee with me through Naked Agility.